This is a special news report hosted by Andy Pollock.
Now, an emergency weather alert from Andy's Randomness.
Okay, good afternoon everyone. Andy's Randomness here in the Random Studio in Fresh Meadows, and we're working with no lighting in my room right now because I don't want to be the one that caused the great blackout of 2019. I'll give you an idea of what my room looks like right now. I'm going to put my camera on. You all can see me for a couple seconds, so put me right here. So turn the camera off in just a second, but I want to show you how I don't have any light in this room right now. I mean, I have electricity. That's why I'm live on YouTube. But here's the catch. I mean, I don't want to have to be the one to say it all, but I'm trying to not turn on my lights during the daytime during this rough stretch, because the issue would be if I keep the lights on. If I keep the lights on, then it's just gonna make everything worse. My lights have been flickering. I just used the restroom about 10-15 minutes ago. Yeah, they were flickering, Mom. That's why I have the lights off. Like I said, I was just in the restroom. I noticed my lights are flickering. So, you have good lighting like I do in my room, even when the lights aren't on. You know, don't turn your lights on. That's all I'm recommending, because last thing we need is one light bulb to cause a single blackout. And then no air conditioning, which that's what I need electricity for. The main thing is just the air conditioner. And my refrigerator. How am I supposed to keep my ice cream cool and my cold cuts? And yes, I have cold food in my refrigerator. So that's one thing I'll say in this heat. But let's get to the current temperatures right now. I'm doing this live because I don't want to have to edit and then worry about not getting accurate information at the latest time. So here are the current conditions at Central Park right now. So we're going to highlight a couple things. So currently at Central Park, 86 degrees. When you factor in the real feel, it is 95 right now. The humidity is up to 70%. Winds, if you've been noticing the breeze this morning, and I noticed it when I was out, when I went to my doctor's appointment and then I grabbed breakfast, you'll notice that there was a breeze this morning, and now it's disappearing. But this is my main concern right now, the dew point. The dew point is at 75 degrees. Alright, that's very alarming. I'm going to warn you all right now. By this time tomorrow, I expect the dew point to be 80. You know how unbearable that's going to be if the dew point's at 80? I'll show you the chart. There's a chart. Shows the dew point. I'll show you the dew point chart, just to give you an idea. There was a chart I saw. And I'm going to save this picture, because you need to see this picture. Oh, I already have it. Good. Well, I'll save it anyway. But I'll show you how important this is. Okay? This is relative humidity at its finest. So you see here, 75 degrees is just downright gross. Alright? What I'm hoping for, and I'll show you with the models as we go along here, because this is going to be important. We have to get the dew point back to 60 at least. Because if we can get the dew point back to 60, that would be interesting, because Alaska, I'm going to be honest with you, when they had their 80 degree temperatures earlier this month, it was 62. That's sticky already. I saw people on YouTube who were in Alaska, and they were complaining, it's 80 degrees. It's hot. Well, hot, yes, but try being here on the East Coast and try dealing with this, because I'm sorry to call out my West Coast viewers, but you guys are so lucky this weekend. Enjoy your 70-degree temperatures out in the West Coast, because San Francisco's not even going to hit 70. Los Angeles, I think today's the only day they're going to hit 80. And then tomorrow, even Sunday, is going to be the coolest day in Los Angeles. And San Diego's going to be in the low to mid 70s. So if you're in California, enjoy the weather the next 3 days. Because here in New York, I'm telling you right now, don't even think about coming to New York the next 3 days, starting today, because it's just, you don't want to deal with it. I've been through previous heat waves. I've been through 2003. Wait, let me think. What heat waves have I been through? I'm trying to think. Well, now I can remember. Right, 2001 was a bad one. 2003 was a bad one. 2006, 2012, 2013, 2016, and now 2019. So, yeah. And I mentioned this, so I'm going to say this again. It's going to be the first time that we could potentially hit 100 since 2012. But this is what I'm really concerned about. And you should all be concerned about this too if you're in New York. Or if you're in the Midwest or wherever you're dealing with these temperatures. Because I'm going to show you in this video how bad the USA is soaking right now. And how I'm envious of people on the West Coast. Because it's amazing how they're getting better weather. Even though their dew points are going to be near 65. I'd rather would be out there than dealing with this for a whole weekend. I'm just saying something, even though California has worse problems than what we have in New York. But for 3 days, I'd take it at this point. Please. Sorry to rant about the weather, but this is what I'm upset about. And look, we have an air quality alert, so that doesn't surprise me. Look at this. And they're probably going to... This is what I don't understand. Why can't they extend this to Sunday? This should be at least extended to Sunday. Or even Monday if the air quality is still going to be bad on Monday. Because we have a high of 86 on Monday. But still, 86 is what we'll take at this point. Than what we're going to have to deal with tomorrow. So again, if you're sensitive to this heat. And you have breathing issues. Don't even try to attempt to go outside. Get to somewhere where at least it has air conditioning. That's all I'm saying. So if you're on the West Coast or anywhere cooler at this point, and you're interested in what's going on in New York, stick around. Or even in the Midwest, because the Midwest is getting this too. The majority of the Midwest is getting this, especially the Ohio Valley. They're getting this too. So, let's read this PowerPoint. Came out earlier this morning, and again, I would have made a video with my cell phone earlier this morning, a quick one like I did yesterday, but again, I had a doctor's appointment. It wasn't like yesterday where I was at work and I had a room to record in at least. No, this is different. This is a different situation where I'm in my main studio and I can record this and stream this. So, here we go. Heat advisory remains in effect for Long Island and Southern Connecticut today. We have an excessive heat warning again remaining in effect for all of the tri-state area. We have an excessive heat warning for tomorrow and Sunday. I'll also mention this. If you go on my Twitter at Andy's Randomness, if you are interested, I retweeted a feed from Channel 7 earlier this morning, WABC here in New York. Con Edison did give a briefing this morning, and if you are interested, the Brian Lear show on WNYC, Mayor de Blasio did discuss the city's plans. I don't know if hang on, I get a notification. Let's see, because if Mayor de Blasio is live, I will preempt and just go into it, because it's very important that local elected officials get their time, even agree or disagree with them, whatever at this point. But if Mayor de Blasio does, if I get a notification that Mayor de Blasio is speaking, I will preempt and we'll go live to de Blasio and see if he has anything to say. But anyhow, let's just get to the PowerPoint. So again, we have extreme heat, heat stress, heat stroke. It's especially during outdoor exertion or extended exposure. So, if you're feeling overheated and you can't cool down immediately, what I would recommend to do is be specific with 911. Tell them that you need an ambulance. And I will tell you this right now. When I have called for an ambulance in New York City, and this is when I witnessed an accident a couple years ago here in Fresh Meadows, I specifically requested an ambulance because I knew there was somebody who was hit by a car, of course. It was a pedestrian trying to cross the street, block away from my house. So, let them know specifically you need an ambulance if you are dealing with symptoms of heat stress or heat stroke. So, what we're going to do right now is find signs of heat stroke. And this is what's very important. So, according to WebMD, symptoms of heat stroke include throbbing headache, dizziness and lightheadedness, lack of sweating despite in the heat, red hot and dry skin, muscle weakness or cramps, nausea or vomiting, rapid heartbeat, rapid shallow breathing. And if I do take pauses, please understand I need to stay hydrated because I will go into my medical thing. I just had a blood test earlier this morning, and with this heat, I'm telling you right now, making me feel a little wobbly, but I've been drinking a lot, so I'll be right back. Just gonna get my water. So again, I do need to stay hydrated during this period of time. So again, if you notice I'm pausing, well, that was just an example because I needed to go to another room and grab it, but please, I'm telling you all right now, even if you don't feel thirsty, try to drink as much as you can. And I'll mention this right now. Don't drink any alcohol. Don't drink any caffeine, which includes soda, which includes coffee. I know my parents had a little bit of coffee, but that was a small cup, and that was before the heat warning started. But I'm telling you right now, don't drink anything that can dehydrate you. That's all I'm saying. You are prolonged to heat stroke that way. So, let's go back to the PowerPoint. So here's what we know for today. Heat index values are supposed to be near 100 to 110. Tomorrow again, and especially Sunday. Now we're going to have to really worry about Sunday. Tomorrow and Sunday, 105 to 115. Now, I'm wondering, are the Yankees playing tomorrow afternoon? Oh, no. That's not good. Bad news. Looks like the Yankees are playing at 1 o'clock. Really wish they could move the game to 7 o'clock tomorrow. I mean, Sunday's a whole different story because here's the thing with the Yankees. They're actually going on a road trip this week. They have to leave early to go to Minnesota, and then they're going to be playing the Red Sox next weekend. So, I would love for Major League Baseball to say, well, we're going to be considerate to the fans and move the game to 7 o'clock on Saturday, which would be very reasonable. I mean, the game's on Yes Network anyway tomorrow. But Sunday you can't because, again, they're traveling. So that's not good. Especially, again, this is very important. Peak heat index values will be between 2 and 5 p.m. So I'm letting my fellow Yankee fans know right now, you need to take this seriously. No alcohol, no caffeine. If your kids are asking you for soda, tell them no. Tell them no. You have to let everybody know. Water. Even if it's pricey at Yankee Stadium, because I know they have the Aquafina. I believe it's Aquafina or Dasani. I don't remember at the moment, but I'm just hoping it won't be as hot as this next week, because I'm supposed to be seeing the Mets play at Citi Field against Pittsburgh next week. So I hope it won't be won't be this hot next Sunday. That's what I'm hoping. Look at this extreme heat. Now, I need to discuss with you overnight lows because this is very important. Tonight, the Central Park low, and this is very alarming. I think I saw it on the NWS website. I think it said 83 degrees for a low tonight. 83 degrees. Okay? That's not normal here in New York City. That is not normal. 83 degrees for a nighttime low. I'll confirm that when I show you the 7-day. I don't need to get into that again. So again, let's just talk about the peak heat index. So we're expecting 102. I'll also mention this. I know I had a little bit of traffic this morning going into Great Neck for my doctor's appointment. I will tell you this right now. Everybody was leaving Queens at 8:30 this morning just to escape this heat. And I can't blame people. I can't blame people for trying to head out east to the Hamptons today, because look at this. 89 degrees. I'd rather would have this right now than deal with that. And look, even the South Shore. Merrick, Belmore, Wantawa, Seaford, Massapequa Park, even Babylon. You might be in the low 90s for a heat index value. I'd rather be down there than dealing with this here in Queens. Here in Queens, we're supposed to be in the mid-90s for a heat index. And look how alarming this is. This goes all the way to Philadelphia. And I will tell you all this. This is going all the way to Ocean City, Maryland. Even all of Delmarva is going to experience this heat. In fact, I'll show you from Delmarva. I will pull up the current temperature in Ocean City. I'll look it up on the NWS website. I'll also see if Wakefield has issued anything, but I doubt it. So I'm probably sure Mount Holly has issued all of Delaware a warning. I would not rule that out. So, 111 is the forecasted heat index value. Now again, that is a big issue because remember, I just said this. The Yankees are playing Colorado tomorrow afternoon at 105. They're playing the Rockies at 105 tomorrow. And I really do feel bad for all the players, all the umpires, all the managers. Yes, there's baseball managers, not just the main manager. There's pitching coaches, hitting coaches. You know what I mean. And they're going to have to deal with this heat tomorrow. Oh, and don't forget the base coaches. And I can tell you this. The sun at Yankee Stadium, the sun can really be unbearable. So, it's not a good situation that, especially in the outfield, in those sections, I think that's going to be the hottest point. Especially where the bleachers are. And I'm sure the creatures are going to show up. I mean, if they don't show up, that would be alarming because you got to keep winning to get the American League East, but that's not important right now. What's important is everybody's safety if they're attending the Yankee-Colorado game tomorrow. I know I'm bringing it up, but it's a major outdoor event. And I'll also mention this, that tomorrow, the New York City Triathlon was supposed to take place tomorrow. That got canceled. And I can confirm that because Mayor de Blasio announced on Brian Lear's show this morning that it was canceled. But there are other events. There's a concert at Jones Beach Theater tomorrow. I have two of my friends going to that. I have already decided I'm not going to the Rick Springfield concert tomorrow at Eisenhower Park. I'm not going. It's going to be too hot. It's just not worth it in this heat. And you have Weird Al Yankovic performing in Forest Hills tomorrow. So there's a lot of outdoor events that people were hoping that the weather would stay in the 80s at least. The 80s would be reasonable at this point. But that didn't happen. Now we have to deal with this. So, I'll mention this. Montauk heat index is going to be 94. But here's what I don't understand. Why is West Hampton's heat index forecast to be 105? Look how warm the water is. Look how warm the water is. Water temperatures are supposed to be in the 60s. Now again, this is what I'm worried about. So it says 82 for our nighttime low. Tonight. This is just tonight. Actually, no, this is tomorrow night. I do apologize. It's tomorrow night, which would be the 20th going into the 21st. So I'm left wondering, well, this is just going to be unbearable because, again, you would think at nighttime, okay, maybe it'll cool off. But no. No, because remember, we're getting 14 hours of daylight. 14 hours. You know why I can prove this? You know why I can prove this? Go on AccuWeather.com. I'll show you all what you can do. This is an interesting tool I'm going to show you all. So you go on AccuWeather.com, and I'll show you how interesting this is. I looked this up at work yesterday on the computer. I'll show you this. Yeah. So you click on hourly, and it shows you, look, 102 for a real feel, 4 o'clock today. It's just insanity. I wonder what they have for dew point tomorrow. So again, look at this. Look at this. 14 hours. Okay? 14 hours of daylight. Do you know how bad that is? Do you know how bad that is to have 14 hours of daylight and you can't even cool down? Alright, thankfully we are not going to attempt to reach the record high of 102 set back in 1977. Alright? Thankfully we are not going to attempt that high today. The high today is supposed to be 91. That's the high here in New York today. So thankfully, we will not be breaking the record set in 1977. Now, if we did, I don't know, because what would be the real feel? 115, 120? That would just be unbearable. And look at this. 83 was the high a year ago on this day. And the low was 66. Hang on, can we find out if Central Park had a 100-degree day in 2012? Because again, I'm pretty sure that's what all of the meteorologists were suggesting, was that... Yeah, look at this. Look, it was even in the 80s earlier this month. See, this is what I wish we would have, a day like this, July 8th. I remember when I came back to work at Oslam, it was comfortable, it was 78 degrees. Wish you would have a day like this. It was comfortable. Yeah, I can't pull up the last time we had a 100-degree day, so... Can I look at the seat 100-degree days at Central Park? Because I'm curious. Let's find out. Alright, here we go. So, here is a chart of when we have hit 100 degrees in New York City. So, I think to be fair, let's go back to 19... Let's go back to when I remember how hot it was. Here we go. Oh, I remember 99. I was 3 years old. I remember this heat wave. 1999 was a brutal year. 1999 was a brutal year, but again, remember, I've been in New York for so long, and I can remember these heat waves. 99 was bad, 2001 was bad, 2003 was bad, 2006 was bad, and I'm going to be honest, 2009 was just a miserable summer because it kept raining so much. And I remember 2010. Oh boy. I remember these 3 summers. So, let's just get to the point. The last time we hit 100 degrees at Central Park was July 18th, 2012. July 18th, 2012. That's 7 years, since we've had a day at Central Park that was at 100 degrees. In exactly 100 degrees. July 22nd, 2011, 104 degrees. The day after, July 23rd, 100 degrees. July 6, 2010, 103 degrees. 100. Now, I'm curious to know what day of the week that was. It had to be a weekday. Had to be a weekday. I remembered I was at summer camp. And no, Matt, you weren't at Camp Kahila in 2012. I remember that. If you were going to comment, no. Right, I remember now. That was a weekday. All I could remember that day was we went to the pool twice that day. The counselors were actually considerate enough to let us go in the morning and in the afternoon. Especially I remember in 2006 that happened. So I think what happened was the camp counselors, I remember, they were freaking out. Some of them were like in private conversation, freaking out that, oh, we could have a situation like 2003 where it was hot every other day. See, I don't know what it was, but 2004 was a very comfortable year. I mean, it was hot some days, but it wasn't like what we're getting today, of course. And here's Sunday. We're still going to be at 110. So that is just, again, remarkable. And the high on Sunday, is supposed to be 97. So 97 tomorrow, and 97 on Sunday. It's just unbelievable. I'm at a loss. So this is just some important tips. I'm not going to read them, but please make sure you do not leave your children in unattended vehicles. That's the most important thing I will say. And this includes pets. Our furry friends don't need to suffocate in this heat, even if they're vicious animals. Because I know there are dogs that can be vicious. Don't keep them in the car. That's the last thing we need in this weather. Is for somebody to break a window and the dog just starts chasing everybody in this heat. And the ambulance drivers need to get to people who have heat stroke, can't get to them. So just be mindful of that. Alright, so again, I like how they have this. This is something interesting here. Let me just take some water for a second. I also mentioned this. If you normally take a shower during, in general, try to keep the water cool, because this is what they're recommending, the NWS. And I do agree with them. I'm going to have to see if I can keep my water a little bit cooler when I shower later this evening. Let's see. So this is something very important that I want to show you all. 99 degrees can happen in a car in 10 minutes. And I can tell you all this right now. That we were in the parking lot of the North Shore Diner in Auburndale. Which is right near where Osnum is. Where I work once a week. And I was only there today. I told my parents that's why I wanted to go to get breakfast after I was, after we were done in Great Neck. We just took Northern Boulevard straight to, Auburndale. Came from Great Neck. Yeah, so it's just incredible what can happen. The only thing I will say is that when we were leaving the parking lot in the SUV, the thermometer was 106. 106 degrees. Do you know how bad that is? That is just not a good situation. Now, as far as thunderstorms, low probability. So again, we just don't know if it'll rain or not. That would be interesting. Last thing we need is rain, let alone this heat. So that's it. That's the presentation that Upton has issued. They're probably not going to issue another one until at least tomorrow, the way things are looking. So very quickly, let's just check the power map. So let's see what we got right now. So let's go all over the 5 boroughs. Well, I figured we'll check Westchester since it's Con Edison territory. So Westchester only has 1 person out. The Bronx has 2 people out right now. Again, probably just isolated incidents that will be happening during this heat wave. Manhattan has no people without power. No people without power. So that's good. Staten Island, everybody has power. Brooklyn, we have 13 people without power right now. And here in Queens, we have 20 people without power. So, again, it's going to be isolated. But I think tomorrow and Sunday is when the grid really needs to be monitored. Let's go to Long Island. PSE&G is reporting 141 people without power in Nassau. In Suffolk, PSE&G is reporting 41 people without power, or 41 customers without power at this moment. Let's just close out of these 2 tabs. So I want to show you something interesting here. Trying to get you temperatures. Now see this? See this? See how this can be amazing to look at? I'm just fascinated how... Let's just see. Can we get to 12 hours? Yeah, let's just go with this as an example. Look. Most of the country is baking right now. Most of the United States is baking right now. That's just remarkable. In fact, hang on. I'm curious. Let's see Anchorage. Anchorage, Alaska hot? Let's just find out. I'm curious. Wow, look at this. Anchorage might hit 80 on Monday. That is very alarming. Anchorage might hit 80 on Monday. See, here's a cool place I want to be right now. British Columbia, Canada. Look at that. Look at that. They're in the 50s in British Columbia, Canada. Seattle, Washington, Oregon, they're in the 60s right now. Do you know how comfortable that is? Rather would be there right now than dealing with this. Let's see. Wow, nighttime lows in the 40s. I'd rather would take that right now than deal with this. Let's see for Saturday. Oh boy, look. Yeah, it's interesting how the air mass is trying to keep Seattle in the 70s. That's just remarkable. Like I said, most of the country is going to be baking. Look at Sunday. Sunday's just going to be remarkable. Yep, look. 90s again. Alright, so thankfully it tries to get cooler next week. Thankfully it tries to get cooler next week. That's a good sign. Thankfully the red's staying around, so if we can keep it in the 80s, that would be fine. Wow, look at this. LA could be in the mid-90s next week. Wow. So next week, Los Angeles, you may be dealing with the same weather we're having here in New York. That is just incredible. Oh, that is just incredible. Alright, so let's go to the New York region. Get an idea of how bad this is. Because, again, this is just remarkable. You have Friday, and here's Saturday. Look at this. Even Maryland. Even Delmarva's going to be under this. And look how far the heat goes. It goes all the way into Ohio even. Yeah, look. Even Virginia's just going to be baking. Like, I would like to know how the dew points are going to be. Let's just go with the NAM's sake here. Take a look at the dew points and get an idea. And then I will wrap this live stream up. So we will wait for the numbers to come up. Here is Saturday's numbers at the moment. So let's see. We're at the 24th hour. Can we get to there? Alright, there we go. There we go. So let's see. Do we get near 80 for a dew point? Yeah, possibly New Jersey could see an 80-degree dew point. Possibly New Jersey. Wouldn't be surprised if Delmarva even saw an 80-degree dew point. Especially how Mother Nature is just being very unfortunate to Chesapeake. We need the wind going the other way, otherwise Chesapeake and the Atlantic just can't feel that, breeze. So let's just wrap it all up with GFS model. Take a look to see if the dew points actually go down starting on Wednesday. Yep, look, the dew points actually try to go down. So that's pretty good. Even starting on Monday, we get to 65 for a dew point. Yeah, look at that. Look at all that nice, comfortable air. Look at that. Even Thursday is going to be comfortable. Wow. Yeah, then the dew points try to go back up over the weekend. Let's see. Did they go back up? Oh, okay. So, yeah, I mean, it's possible that the dew points could be near 65, but that's a better number than dealing with what we have. But look. Ooh. This is not good. Dew points back in the 70s for the first week of August. So that's something I may have to keep an eye on. Alright, so I think with that, we're going to wrap up this live stream. Ooh. Okay, we got an interesting comment from an advanced player who says, Nicole Maliatakis wants the city to make cooling centers pet friendly. Well, I hope that's the case. Alex, again, heat index for the Hamptons, 105. 105 tomorrow, and on, let me see, can I pull up the presentation very quickly? Oh, boy. Alex, the worst heat index is actually Sunday. 109. 109 for the heat index. So that's not a good situation if you're going out to the Hamptons. But Montauk, 95 still, so. And you know what's concerning? Bergen County, New Jersey. 117 in Paramus. 117 in Paramus. That is just remarkable. So, with that, I'm going to wrap up this live stream. We've been live for 40 minutes, but at least this is a better option than dealing with one to share and then worrying about editing. So, I'm going to wrap this all up. Thank you all for watching very much. If I hear any reports of outages, I will be back on the air, and I'll try to cover it. So, with that, thank you all for watching. Stay cool. Until the next one, please take care.